Hello, my name's Joey and welcome to my tour of props and artifacts. That's what it feels like sitting in this chair. Anyway, my name's Joey and welcome to my tour of props and artifacts. Now today I'm going to talk to you about props that are reused in other films, because you just always assume that every prop for every film is just brand new or never used again. So when I used to work for a prop hire called All Props Limited, there was a local boot sale where I lived over the weekend. There was a local boot sale and I bought a satellite phone for £1.50. It was a big green thing with a big chunky green aerial, and that got hired out to Casino Royale. And at the beginning of the film you see the main villain on the beach with the satellite phone. That was my phone. The exact same telephone was hired for the film Sahara, and that's the telephone they're grappling with on the boat in one of the scenes, and once again that's exactly the same telephone. So the same telephone used in Casino Royale is the same telephone used in Sahara, so it will carry on going and being used until, you know, the hire company either gets lost from the hire company or it gets destroyed, that kind of business. Now what I'm going to talk to you today about are these World War II German files, which were made for a Harrison Ford film in 1979 called Hanover Street. And in that film there was the main character whose name escapes me. I know his second name is Plumber, so I'm going to have to put up a little picture right there now. There you go, that's his name. So in the film, the Harrison Ford and Mr. Plumber, let's call him, they go into this German safe house and they have to find these files. Now, Mr. Plumber, he flicks through these German files. Now, the file he's after is this one, but clearly multiple copies were made so that when he's rifling through it, he's always going to pick the right one. Now, the reason I'm talking to you about these files specifically is obviously lots of these files are made. Now, they keep cropping up in different World War II dramas. So, this was made in 1979 as part of a multitude of the same prop. 1979 for a film called Hanover Street. And of course we've got the fingerprints here, we've got the gentleman's photograph there, and some other bits of fake World War II paperwork. Now, these turn up again in a 1983 film called The Keep, and what happened in The Keep is this name has been written across here, Woermann. I'm not very good at pronouncing German, but it's once again it's been written on both of these. So once again it's a prop that they've used multiple copies of. Now, bearing in mind these multiple copies were made for Hanover Street in 1979. So these multiple copies again have been hired for a film in 1983 called The Keep. And then of course they've written that German name on it. Well, anyway, this same prop can be found in Doctor Who, The Curse of Fenric. This exact one you can see in Doctor Who, The Curse of Fenric. It's on Judman's desk. He's a character who's trying to think the way the Nazis think. And it's open at his desk on this page and he's poring over different German documents, and you can see this there exactly. Now, the reason I decided to make a video about this is because yesterday I was watching Doctor Who, a Matt Smith episode. Now, by the time that was filmed in the 2011, 2012, I already owned these. So once again, the multiple copies were still out there being hired out. So anyway, it's the Matt Smith episode called Let's Kill Hitler. And what happens is, at the beginning of the episode, there's a German officer and he's rifling through files. Now, he's holding one of these files. Once again, this is an old file from 1979. He's holding one of these files, and you can clearly see when he opens up the file, it's in a different configuration in the file, but you can see the fingerprint paper. You can just about make out the photograph of this gentleman there. And that's pretty much it. There we go. It's Not the most interesting of videos, but it's just to show you that things that are made in films, film props that are made, they can carry on having a life for over 20 years, backwards and forwards in different productions. So here we have, once again, multiple files made for a Harrison Ford film called Hanover Street, one of his early films, reused in a horror film called The Keep, reused in Doctor Who, the classic and original series, and reused again in the series revival. Now, who knows, you may even spot these files in many other World War II productions to come, or in fact ever since, which I've not spotted. They won't be these two, but they will be the brothers and sisters of these exact multiple copies that were made in 1979. There we go. That's it. That's just a little example to show you of how props can be reused and just have a life of their own. Anyway, take care. See you soon. Look after yourselves, and I shall see you soon. I've already said that. Goodbye.